Ha! I just realized that my microphone's been muted this whole time. Wow. Isn't that funny? I've been listening to the monitor through my headphones, but I noticed that, yeah. So if anybody wants to talk to me, now's the time because I can actually talk back. Very embarrassing. So what, for the first 5 minutes? 5 minutes isn't bad. I've still been carving. You still get to watch that at least, right? Is this a good angle? I don't even know. Get down there real close and personal. I like that a little bit better. I don't have the finest equipment. I just have a 1080 webcam here, a little Logitech. It's not super fancy. My cell phone's actually way better, but whenever I do a Droid cam and I hook it up that way through OBS, the quality goes down. I don't know why. I think it's OBS's software is not as good at processing it as Samsung's software. And I guess I could do it through my phone. No, I can't do it through my phone because if I do it through my phone, then it has that portrait aspect ratio. It has the vertical, not the horizontal, and that looks terrible on a live. So I have no interest in doing that. So I gotta go through the computer. But then I use a proper microphone instead of my phone mic, so there's advantages and disadvantages, right? But like I said, or you all didn't hear me, but what I was saying when I was muted was that I don't know how many nights I'm going to go live in a row. But now that I'm doing the drawing and the carving live, I mean, theoretically, I could do it every night. Because for the Sam and the Frodo blocks, I took a break when I did the drawing, so you only saw me do the carving live for those two, but theoretically, I could draw something new and carve something new every night. I just don't know that I want to. But I mean, if I get enough people tuning in and making it worth my while, I might. I mean, after all, if I'm gonna draw and carve either way, why not stick a camera in front of me? No big deal, right? So I didn't show you all how I pasted this down. That's the only thing that I didn't do live. I did record it, and I am going to show excerpts of it on the edited video I'm making. So usually I do this full live video where you see every minute of the process. And then I do a super cut short that I upload the day after. At least that's my new process for this project. But I think I need to find the Goldilocks somewhere, and I need to do like a 10 or a 20-minute video where I take, the several hours of drawing and carving and edit it into something more substantial than a YouTube short, but not as boring and tedious as 6 hours of watching me do this in real time live video. And then that way I can have more nuanced thoughts about the characters I'm drawing, actually write things out, do it that way, and edit things, and maybe even give some printmaking advice, though I don't know that I have a lot of printmaking advice to give because I'm still learning. Relief printmaking is as far as pursuits go, this is a relatively new field of study for me. I only really started doing this on a regular basis 2 years ago. I really started going to town in 2024. I started doing it in general in 2022. That's when I actually started like buying materials in a real way. But doing it on a regular basis and selling prints and putting them on Etsy, that was 2024. And last year, I don't know that I was doing as much of it. I was still doing it, but wasn't doing as much of it. But yeah, I didn't show how I pasted this down, and you know what? I don't know that I did a great job pasting it down, because you can see I'm kind of tearing the paper off a little bit, and it's throwing off the carving, because you can see that I've got some raised surfaces there that are, you can see the dark gray of the linoleum and the light gray of the part I carved it, so it makes it difficult to see what I carved and what I didn't. And the only way to know for sure is when I ink it, and then I'm going to have to go back after it's inked and carve out the parts that I didn't want but didn't know that I didn't carve because they were too light to see. That's why you stain the block. You stain the block so you have a good enough contrast. That's $1 million idea right there. Have a pre-stained block, or somehow manufacture a linoleum block, or even a wood block. That'd be awesome. Some sort of block that has a micron layer of a black surface, and then all underneath that is a lighter surface, so it's kind of pre-stained for you, and you can see a perfect contrast. I don't like doing my stain in black. I know a lot of people do a much darker stain than I do, so they can really see what the end result is going to look like when they roll on the ink. I like red because it's still enough of a contrast, but I can see the drawing more clearly. Some people use the drawing as more of a guideline when they carve, especially wood engravers. I try to be pretty true to how I drew it, because unlike a traditional Japanese woodblock team where everything is separated out, I drew the things, so I have opinions about the drawing, where a Japanese woodblock carver would just carve what they were given and not think about it. Yeah. So right now I'm carving, this is a reverse. So if you all saw my drawing, I had Mary on the left and I had Pippin on the right. Now it's the other way around, because of course when you paste it, you flip it and it's a mirror image. But then when I pull the print, it'll be exactly how I drew it. Well, not exactly how I drew it, but the orientation will be the same. It'll look a little bit different. Because if it didn't look a little bit different, then why the heck would I bother carving it out? I'd just print it out, right? I have options now. It's the 21st century. I don't have to carve a relief print to get print. I've got a couple printers just in my house, so I don't actually need to do this. This isn't like some technological necessity. It's an aesthetic decision. I like how it looks when I carve it and print it better than how I draw it. That's the whole reason I'm doing this, because I don't even know that I'm actually selling these prints, these one-offs of each character. I might be, what I'm doing is I'm printing them, and then I'm scanning them. And then I'm taking that scan and probably going to make a digital print of that, even though the scans are relief prints themselves. It's just to get that style, really. Because no matter how hard you try to draw in the style of a woodcut, you're never going to be able to make the same kind of line that a knife or a gouge produces. You're just not going to do it. The only way to do it is to do it. I've seen a few good imitators, but you can always tell the difference between a drawn line and a carved line. That's the truth. Yeah, this, not so sure about this. This is peeling away here. I'm not used to that. This could be a challenging project if the whole print is like this. Yeah, I don't like that. You see? That's raised there, but now it's peeling away. So I'm not going to be able to see. Yeah, this one's going to have to... I'm going to have to go back for a second round, I think. I'm going to have to print it and then carve some other parts, because the other two I did, the Frodo block and the Sam block, I mean, it might have not been perfect, but after I carved it, I printed it, and I didn't carve it again. What I carved was what I kept the first time. I don't think anyone's too talkative in the chat. I'm seeing people come in and come out, but no one's ever got anything to say, so I might go back and listen to my podcast, turn off my microphone again. Hopefully remember to turn it on if anyone has anything to say. And you guys can't listen to what I'm listening to. It's, well, I mean, first of all, I'm going to get dinged for like a copyright thing if I play it on my own stream, I'm sure. Well, maybe not. I don't think these guys are the claiming copyright kind of type. And if you've ever watched any of my videos, I actually have a t-shirt of this particular podcast. That's how much I like this podcast, so you may be able to guess who I'm listening to. I'll give you a hint. It's not a Lord of the Rings podcast. I was trying to be funny. I was trying to think of like, oh, it's what's what's a podcast that I would never listen to? The Guys I Slept With podcast. There you go. With Kamala Harris, that probably would be one that I would not listen to. Well, no, I'd listen to that one definitely. I'm just thinking of like what's like the most stereotypical, like not for my demographic kind of podcast. I've actually never listened to that podcast. Is that Guys I Slept With podcast? Is that what that's called? You all can let me know. The one that Kamala went on. I was going to say your mom's house, but that's Tom Segura's podcast. I probably listened to that a couple times, but it's not actually one I listened to. It just sounded like that kind of thing. Shows how much I know. I'm actually kind of getting bored with podcasts. And, that's a pretty bold statement for a guy doing a live stream of a lino cut. I mean, I don't think much more could be boring than this. But there's still people who come and watch me do this, so to each their own. Then again, I've watched David Bull, for hours do a wood carving in real time. So there's something to this. There's some ASMR kind of quality. I should just shut up and just let the I hate those videos where they tap, they do all that stuff, ASMR. It's so annoying. How can anyone enjoy that? But it would be so much easier than trying to come up with stuff to talk about. I should just make clicky noises. There we go. I'll market myself as an ASMR podcast. But I'm not going to do a Lord of the Rings podcast either. I'll talk about Merry and Pippin on the edited video when I have my thoughts all together. I talked for like a half an hour about Pippin last night. And it was a Monday night, so nobody was on. Pretty embarrassing, really. I know I'm just getting started. That's why I said I'm not going to do live streams until I have at least 1,000 subscribers, because what's the point? And, maybe you guys on the chat aren't even subscribers. I have no idea. But it just seemed to me that it's like 1,000 subscribers is like the bare minimum you have to have before people actually start watching you. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. See, now I know what they mean by unintentional ASMR. That was very unintentional of me. Boy, this is going to be a bad print. I can already tell. You can see how much I'm missing. And if I rolled some ink on right now, you could see that it's like, oh man, this doesn't look anything like my drawing. Yeah, I'm going to have to go back and carve this again. Why didn't it paste on properly? I need to get some of that fancy Gampi paper that the Japanese guys use. Or, what I should really do, since I don't erase anything anyway, I should just draw directly on the block. Why not? What's stopping me? You all saw me draw this thing, or if you didn't see me draw this thing, you can go back and watch it in real time, unedited. I didn't erase anything. I used a dip pen and I drew this thing. No erasing. So, I don't erase anything anyway. Why don't I just draw on the block and save myself some time? I don't have to do the transfer process, right? Maybe I will for the next one. Because the transfer process is kind of a pain in the neck. Yeah, look at this. This is terrible. Look at this. I haven't had this happen with one of my transfers in a long time. Maybe I didn't use enough matte gel medium. Yeah, I hate, look at that. That is bad news bears right there. When the paper's tearing like that, but the linoleum's still intact, that's just a disaster. Yep, this is going to have to be a 2-round print. I hate it when that happens. So embarrassing. Ugh, I'm so embarrassed right now. If anyone has anything to add in the chat to make me feel better about how embarrassed I am right now, that would be very helpful. As soon as I said that, a couple of people left. It's like, oh no, it's like the teacher calling me out in school. Man, I can't believe I've already been doing this for 25 minutes. But the first 5 minutes were, technical difficulties as usual. And not even because my equipment was bad, just because I'm an idiot and I didn't turn on my microphone because I thought I was going to listen to a podcast, but I just keep talking this entire time. Maybe I'll do what I did before and I'll listen to something for the second half an hour. I'm trying to give you guys at least 40 minutes. But, maybe that's... I don't know how long people do these kinds of live videos. But, I mean, honestly, how many people are doing relief printmaking as a live video? I know, like, only a few people who do this, Shout out to Stephen Winicki. I've been watching a lot of his videos, getting some inspiration. He's like a legit woodblock carver. Like, he really does it in the Japanese style. He makes very good prints. He makes way better prints than I do. So you should go watch him instead. But he's not doing Lord of the Rings prints. I hope he doesn't start doing it, because then that's going to be a real problem for me. The only advantage that I have to these real printmakers is they have some integrity. They don't do pop culture stuff. They do, like, like their own original things, or they do reproductions of famous works. And I'm just this shameless self-promoter who does, big, name brand copyrighted material stuff, so people will pay attention to me. Yep. Oh man, this looks absolutely garbage. I cannot believe that the paper is tearing off like this. Here, maybe I can... let's see, I'm going to spray a little bit. Give myself an idea here. Maybe I didn't peel enough of the paper away. Maybe that's the problem. Let's find out. And of course, you're always in danger if you rub too much away, that you're going to rub away the drawing itself. And then that totally defeats the purpose, doesn't it? I don't know. Could have a real problem right now. And of course, you don't want to cut a wet block because, this is just awful. Awful, awful, awful. And here I'm doing it on camera. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, I haven't had this happen in a long time. And of course it has to happen for my double header here where I got two characters on the same block. Couldn't happen for one of my little ones. I'm just kind of playing around, just seeing what part I want to go into, what part's actually cooperating with me. I don't have a real strategy here. The only thing that I'm certain on is I don't want to work on the face right now, because the face is the most important part, and I'm still getting a feel for it. You gotta feel really confident before you start working on the face. If I mess up his jacket, no one's really going to pay that much attention. They might think, oh, you just had a messed up jacket. It's like, yeah. Bad tailoring, not bad woodblock printmaking. Well, this isn't even a woodblock. Bad lino cut printmaking. I'm running out of linoleum, actually. I'm going to have to start using the wood that I have. I'm just kind of using the extra linoleum because it's cheaper and, you know, it's pre-cut. You know, I make my own wood blocks, and it takes a little bit more thought ahead of time. And it's just like I could just grab a piece of linoleum and it's done. But as I demonstrated in one of my videos, the wood gives you a much better line if you're doing small detail than the linoleum. So it'll be kind of interesting to see what the difference is between the Lord of the Rings characters I did on linoleum and the ones that I did on wood. Maybe it won't make that much of a difference at all. Maybe it'll be practice more than anything. That's usually how it goes. The further into a series I go, the better the characters get. And then the ones, that's why you should really not do the really, you know, core characters in the beginning, because they're your worst looking ones after you've had, you know, lots of practice. So I was saying with the guitarist series, I did Jimmy Page first. In that series, I drew him first, and it was a terrible drawing. I used a really bad, stupid pen to draw him with. And so I ended up at the very end of it going back and redrawing him when I was fully in practice and knew exactly how I wanted him to look and knew exactly what pen to use. And sure enough, he was one of the best ones on the poster. So I know for a fact I'm definitely going to redraw Frodo. There's no doubt about that. That Frodo one was bad. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but compared to Sam, it was bad. I thought my Sam one was pretty good as far as simple medieval style woodcuts go. And Merry and Pippin, I'm not really sure. I don't have a lot of hope right now because of the way the block is peeling. Oh well. That's how it goes sometimes when you're working with this organic material. If it was Photoshop, I could just play around with the layers and Control Z, and that would be that. But that's not how it goes when you're working with real materials. That's not how it goes. I'm really not sure what I want to do right now. What do you all think? Out there in the interwebs, what do you think I should be doing? What part of this block do you think I should be carving first? I'm just trying to go with the inconspicuous parts when I figure out how bad I screwed up pasting this drawing on. So I can really assess the damage of this. Seriously, the last two blocks pasted on so well. I don't even know what I did differently this time. Of course, this is the one that I'm going to be documenting from start to finish, so you can really see the trials and tribulations of printmaking. Ah. Then if I really need to get into some fine detail, I'll use my chisel beveled knife. think you can hear my lamp rattling in the background. Unintentional ASMR. I have to say it's a lot more relaxing to not be on camera. To think I used to do these on camera. But I was always worried about like looking into the camera while I was carving, and it messed up my carving because I couldn't get down at the proper angle. I needed to bend down more, and fortunately I don't have a bald spot. I'm blessed with good genetics in terms of at least my hairline, for a man in his late 30s. But that still doesn't mean I want you to see the top of my head for the entire carving. So I was trying to look into the camera in an awkward way, but it's just not how I work. I needed to get down closer to the block to carve it. I can't even, I know I'm a broken record right now, but this is just peeling away so much. This is just a nightmare. It's just awful. So I really, really can't see what I've carved away right now. It's only until I roll ink on that I'll really understand how much I missed. I can hear my wife practicing piano. Not piano, singing. She just uses the piano to check her key. I wonder if that's picking up on the mic. I guess you all can tell me. I'm a little hot today. I'm wearing a big sweater, and it's not really that cold out. I don't know why I did this. I'm doing my shorts and sweater kind of thing today. It's going to get cold again. I've really run out of stuff to talk about when I start talking about the weather, but it's getting cold again. We've had our we've had plants sitting around in our house waiting to, be put into our garden for like a week and a half at this point. They're going to die by the time the threat of frost is left Ohio. I lost everybody with that. That's hilarious. I had people on the chat, and I started talking about weather, and immediately I had one person on the entire time, and as soon as I started talking about the weather, I'm by myself. That's hilarious. It's like if I ever want to stop doing this and I feel guilty because someone's watching, I can always just start talking about the weather, and that'll clear them out. Man. Yeah, this isn't going to be an hour-long stream tonight. This is going to be another 5 minutes, I think. So, if anybody's out there, know that, because I am really like, it really bugs me that I didn't paste this very well. And so much of this is just the paper ripping out before I can. And I don't think it's because my tool isn't sharp enough. I think it's sharp enough. I just, for whatever reason, the paste didn't hold the paper. I didn't use enough, I guess. Life in the big city. That's what I got so far. I'm actually working way faster, but again, I know I'm going to have to go back again. This has really thrown me for a loop tonight, so I think I'm going to call this one. 40 minutes in, that's not too bad. I am going to have to cut like the first 5 minutes probably because I wasn't talking, but I don't know, maybe that's more of a pro than a con for people watching. I don't know. And everyone left anyway, so that's what I got right now, and I'll be back tomorrow hopefully for a more, maybe this side glued on better. I can only hope so. So good night, everyone.